the frontline space itself, and now let's talk about Apollo Hospital. It's actually one of the worst performing stocks on the Nifty today, down almost 6%. At one point was down a lot lower as well. This is a special segment called Insight Edge. Ekta joins in to talk about not just the deal, but what the company said to us that has the stock moving the way it has as well. Ekta.
Yes, Mangalam. Well, and interestingly, the stock has recovered, but the concerns continue. They, remember, had a call on Saturday afternoon to address questions from investors. But nonetheless, now, one of the key concerns with regards to the Apollo Hospitals deal is that it is basically a complicated deal which has taken place. Jefferies says that Apollo HealthCo will need strong execution given the complex structure. Now, there is also a related party transaction as Keimed, which is going to be merged into Apollo HealthCo over the next couple of months, is a promoter entity. Now, the other sore point is that the deal valuations are lower than expected, so which is Apollo HealthCo. CLSA says Apollo HealthCo is at a discount of around 5,600 odd crores compared to CLSA's valuation. Jefferies says Apollo Health is valued at around 14,478 crores, which is lower than their 17,000 crores SOTP valuation. Now, Sunita Reddy did mention to us that the valuation, yes, of Apollo HealthCo is at a discount of around 20% than market expectations. But it will do, the deal, it will form India's largest omni-channel play, and the timeline of the deal, according to them, was crucial as well. Now, the other key concern is the margins. Keimed margins are only 3.6% for FY23. Sunita Reddy has indicated that they will improve their margins to 10 to 11% versus, the guided 7 to 8% by FY27. The other thing is revenues. Now, they're targeting 25,000 crores in terms of revenues with 7 to 8% margins by FY27. The street is anticipating that they're probably going to go via the acquisition route, and that's exactly what Sunita Reddy said, that the Keimed will look at an inorganic growth to touch that 25,000 crore revenue mark by FY27. So I think execution of all of these targets, improvement of margins, revenue, all of that needs to come through for the street to believe that this is actually a deal which is good enough despite the complications. Now, brokerages, a bit sanguine. So Morgan Stanley is overweight, target price of 7,181. They believe deal valuations are lower than expected for AHL. We have the likes of Nuvama, which maintains a buy. Target price is lower to 7,300 versus 7,500. AHL valuation is a letdown at 1.7 billion versus estimated 2.7 billion. Doubling of Keimed's valuation in a year is aggressive. Fundraise, which is a positive, fundraise will minimize the 24/7 cash burn. But overall, they're reducing their pharmacy target valuation from 25 times EV to EBITDA versus around 22 times, and the SOTP valuation at by around 290 rupees per share. We, in fact, did speak to Sunita Reddy in this, so let's listen in to what she had to say in our Insight Edge segment.
We now will have a very strong balance sheet, which will enable the growth of Apollo HealthCo. And if you look at the entire transaction, it will create India's largest omni-channel pharmacy play. Added to that, of course, is the benefits that will now come from the digital network that we have created, which has multiple revenue streams. So we are enabling growth, we are funding growth, and we have a strong balance sheet. It could be at a 20% discount to market expectations, but I think having cash in hand and a strong balance sheet far outweighs that. Current margins are at 3%, but I think as we go forward, we have to look at the scale of Keimed and the fact that it supplies to 70,000 pharmacies. We believe that private label is the right way forward. So if you look at, combination of both what we're doing, AHL offline and Keimed, we're able to deliver a 10.7% margin moving into 11%. And that with the significant scale is actually a good number. I think Keimed is looking at some inorganic growth, and that will enable it to grow at around 20%.
All right, so that was an entire 360 coverage on Apollo Hospitals. Let's bring in Gurmeet.